Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Movie News. We got a lot to talk about today. I've been lacking with movie news, my bad, but we got like 15 to 20 stories to talk about today. It's going to be a decently long video, so make sure to grab a snack. But let's get right to it. The first story we're going to talk about is the John Wick. Another spin-off series is happening. It's about the High Table, and it's now in the works. This is kind of cool to me because the High Table, they talk about the High Table in the John Wick movies about John Wick having to take down the High Table, but we never really seen the High Table, seen like all the High Table. We never really see him take down the High Table. That's what I'm interested in because supposedly they're going to make a John Wick 5, and I thought that's going to be about the High Table, but now they're making this about the High Table. Also, I feel like their spin-offs aren't really working that much because they just had the Continental spin-off and that didn't do well viewers wise. So I don't know if this one will do well because if you don't have Keanu and if you don't have John Wick, then I don't think people are going to watch it because I didn't even tune into the Continental. I was going to, but I just gave up. I really didn't feel like it was like worth me watching it. I don't really think you need to watch it. I feel like John Wick really needs to be in these series to make it really worthwhile. But if it's about the High Table, I think it could be interesting. But now we got Creed 4 is finally in the works with Michael B. Jordan returning as the director. This is very exciting because Michael B. Jordan directed Creed 3 and that was a great film. His direction was just it was just off the charts and really interesting and really exquisite for his like first time directing. I was really impressed by it. And I love Creed 3. It's like in my top 25 of the year, and that's saying a lot because we've had a lot of good movies this year. Creed 4, I don't know what the story they're going to go for is, and it's kind of interesting because, his character is kind of like after the third movie, his character kind of like retired in a way. So I'm not sure how they're going to get him back into the ring, but Michael B. Jordan is returning as director, and that just makes me really happy. A new Jason Bourne movie is in the works with Edward Berger set to direct. Matt Damon is expected to be approached to return. So we don't have the official confirmation that Matt Damon is returning. So this is not official confirmation, but we are getting a new Jason Bourne movie with or without Matt Damon. And Edward Berger is a very good choice for a director because he did direct All Quiet on the Western Front. That was a great film. Thought he did really good on that one. I'm not really sure if I want Matt Damon to return or not. I gotta be honest, I have not seen any of his Jason Bourne movies. I mean, someday I'll watch them, but I'm not really, I don't really have them on the schedule to be watched, immediately. I've heard they're just all right, but I think that Edward can do a great job directing this if Matt Damon does or doesn't return. Now we got 3 major castings for Superman Legacy. Superman Legacy is finally getting a lot of castings announced because the strikes are finally over, and these are pretty good. I gotta say, Nicholas Hoult is the first one. He was cast as Lex Luthor. This is great for him because he was up for the role of Superman. He didn't get it, but now he got the role of Lex. I think he's going to do a great job. I think Nicholas Hoult is one of the most underrated actors. I think he does a great job in The Great. He's going to be in Nosferatu next year, so I'm very excited to see him in that. And then we got Sarah Sampaio. I think that's how you say her surname. Has been cast as Eve Teschmacher in Superman Legacy. I think I butchered all those names because I don't know that character at all. But I mean, I'm excited to see this character. I think she might be working with Lex. I'm not sure on that. And Skylar Gisondo has been cast as Jimmy Olsen in Superman Legacy. This is the fan cast that we've all been hoping for. Finally came true. He's going to do a great job. I didn't know anything about Jimmy Olsen until I watched that new Superman show on HBO Max. And I think that's a pretty good show. I think he's an interesting character because he didn't show up in Man of Steel, any of the Zack Snyder movies. To my recollection, I don't think he showed up. But, James Gunn is finally getting the ball rolling with Superman Legacy. Should be ready to go by 2025. They're probably going to film it late next year. Very excited for what he does with this character. Focus Features has acquired distribution for the Bikeriders, and it's going to be released in 2024. So something interesting kind of happened with this movie. 20th Century Fox was going to release it this December, but they kind of just, they stopped. They said they weren't going to release it anymore. They kind of dropped the movie. I'm not sure if there was a reason to that. I never looked into it too far to see if there was a big reason to it. I find it kind of weird that they did because I think it could have been, I think it could have been a decent box office hit for the older audiences. I'm pretty excited for it. I think the footage looks pretty good. I've heard actually decent things from the fall film festivals, but now it's not a 2023 release. It's now a 2024 release from Focus Features. Focus Features always does a great job with their distribution, always picks some great movies, so I think it's going to work out really good for them. Now we got some new movie and show announcements with Good Burger 3 has now been, it's already begun planning. I'm not very excited for this. I'm not, the biggest fan of the Good Burger movies. If you do love them, there's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and keep loving them. It has a good, I love the two main characters in this, but just, it's not that funny to me. But Good Burger 3 is now happening. That means Good Burger 2 probably got some good viewers on Paramount Plus. The Babysitter 3 is now in the works at Netflix. Very excited for this one. I have a lot of fun with these movies, especially the second one. I thought the second one was a lot of fun because you had also had Jenna Ortega join the cast. So I think that this one could be even better. But it sucks that we have to wait so long for these movies. I think the wait time between the first and second one was also a long time. So hopefully it can get up going pretty fast. And then this is a very big piece of news. A live action version of Naruto is in the works. I'm not sure if this is a TV show or a movie. Who knows when it's going to come out? It's only in the works for now, so they don't have anything officially planned out yet. But I find this so kind of, I'm kind of worried about it, but I'm also pretty excited about it because we did have the One Piece series on Netflix, but that was handled really well. I love that show, one of my favorite shows of the year. This, though, I think this is much more difficult because it's, one of the most famous animes of all time, one of the most long-running animes of all time, just like One Piece. And they have some very famous characters in this show. I've wanted to watch Naruto for a long time. I've only watched the first season of the original show. I haven't really gotten to Shippuden, but I've heard that one's pretty good. But I feel like you're gonna have a lot of fans pissed off if you don't get this right. I would probably put this in the hands of Netflix as a TV show. A movie would just not work for this. I think a TV show would be perfect for this. So hopefully Netflix gets the rights for this one. The Simpsons movie 2 is rumored to be in the works. If this is actually in the works, I would be super excited. It's not official yet, but if official, announcement does come out, we'll bring it up again. But if this actually does happen, it'll be my dream come true because the first Simpsons movie is so good, so funny. I think it works a lot as a movie, and The Simpsons works a lot as a show. It's been going on for so many years, but the movie was just kind of more special for me because I just think, I thought the story was great, and I think that they could do a lot with this second one because, the animation has improved, slightly since the first movie came out. Characters have been through a lot more. I think that this could be awesome. I'm hoping this actually does come to fruition and actually does come out. Francis Lawrence is attached to direct a Stephen King adaptation of The Long Walk. I've actually heard of this book a little bit from Stephen King because I do read a lot of Stephen King books. This one I haven't read yet, but I've actually heard the synopsis from it. Does sound pretty cool. Francis Lawrence is a great director. He of course did all the Hunger Games movies, did the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which was great. I think he did a great job directing those, so I'm excited for this. I think that he can easily direct the hell out of a movie, and a Stephen King movie is pretty exciting for him to do. I think that he'll do an interesting job at it. Now we're getting a new Boys spinoff titled The Boys Mexico. Diego Luna will executive produce this show. I have no idea about this show. I can't really give too many opinions because we don't know what it is about. Probably take place in Mexico, probably involve some new characters. That's all we know. Hopefully, it's as good as Gen V and The Boys because those are both amazing. Hopefully they don't dilute the brand too much. One more spinoff might not hurt, but if you go too far into the brand, you might dilute it a little bit. But still, I mean, I'm still kind of excited, but we still know nothing about this show, really. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is officially in the works. Emma Tammy is returning as the director. So we've kind of guessed that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is going to happen. Of course, it's one of the, I think it's the highest grossing horror movie of the year so far, and it made a lot of profit compared to its small budget. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great movie. I found it just to be okay. It's fun at times. I think that, it needs a little bit better of a script, less, I think it needs a little less fan service and needs an actual story for the second one. I'm happy that Emma Tammy gets to return to direct because she made the first one. She made it, she made the movie that made a lot of money. So of course she gets to return to direct. Hopefully the cast does return. And I gotta say, I'm actually excited because it's at least a fun time. Filming has officially wrapped on Beetlejuice 2, and it's going to be in theaters next year on September 6th. So this story actually really was funny to me because when the actor strike did happen, they only had I don't know, I think they only had 2 more days left on shooting this movie, so it kind of sucked that they couldn't finish it. but then now the strikes are over, so they got to finish it super quick. This one has a great cast. You got all the originals returning mostly. You got Willem Dafoe, Jenna Ortega joining the cast. It's going to be great. I love the first Beetlejuice. I think it's such a fun time. Tim Burton, sometimes Tim Burton's hit or miss, but with Beetlejuice, he is a hit on that. I think Beetlejuice is just a riot of a film. The effects are great, so hopefully this one kind of lives up to the first one in some ways. You can have old style kind of in there and put in a new style. Hopefully Tim Burton does kind of do that for this one. A sequel to Thanksgiving is officially in the works for a 2025 release. Eli Roth will return to write and direct this one. This is super exciting. Thanksgiving was a really fun film. It made a little bit of the box office. I'm not going to say it made a huge amount, but for its budget, it made a pretty good amount. I think it's going to do pretty well on digital. We only have to wait like 2 years for a new one. Happy that Eli Roth is returning. Hopefully, I'm wishing that Eli Roth does make this one a little more serious, because I thought that even though Thanksgiving was pretty good, I liked it. It was fun. It was just, I wanted a little more scariness to it. It was a little kind of too silly for me at times, but some scenes were just perfect. But, I think that he needs to work on the script just a little bit more for this one, but I'm happy that we're getting a sequel. Now we got some digital release dates to finally talk about. Saltburn releases on Prime Video December 22nd. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. It's kind of divisive, not going to work for everyone, so be careful when you go into it. It's a very bizarre, weird film. Emerald Fennell is known for those weird films, but I'm definitely going to be rewatching it for the Christmas season. I guess it's not a Christmas movie, but I'm going to be rewatching it. Barbie releases on Max on December 15th. So if you don't own Barbie already, you can go and watch it on Max on December 15th. I already own it, so I've already seen it many times, but if you don't own it, coming to Max just this month, just a couple more weeks. And as we're talking about Thanksgiving releases on digital platforms on December 19th. So very soon, I guess you can watch Thanksgiving as your Christmas Day movie. And Killers of the Flower Moon is now officially on digital. It's now on digital by the time you're watching this video. It's easily one of the best movies of the year. It's a long movie, but now that it's on digital, you can finally go to the bathroom whenever you want. So just go try to enjoy it. 3.5 hours of Martin Scorsese goodness with Lily Gladstone, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro. Such a powerful, moving film, but also very dense film. I really recommend this one a lot. Warner Bros. And A24 have signed a deal to bring all past and future A24 films to Max exclusively after their theatrical debuts. This is very exciting. Now Max has another big brand to add to their library. A24 finally has, one official streaming service for their movies. I have Max, so I'm very excited to watch a lot of A24 movies on Max. I think Priscilla is hitting Max middle of December, I think December 15th, so I'm definitely going to rewatch that. If you haven't seen Priscilla yet, you have Max. Look for that soon in the coming weeks. But if you haven't seen a lot of A24 movies and you have Max, you're going to be able to watch them all. There's a lot of underrated A24 movies. Just if you have Max, I would even get Max for this. Just for all the A24 movies, it's definitely worth it. I think Warner Bros. Made a strong move with this. The Squid Game reality show has been renewed for season 2 at Netflix. I find this pretty surprising because of all supposedly, the reality show had a pretty bad, bad things happen on it. They're going to get sued for all these things. A lot of lawsuits are happening. I'm not sure if they're going to go through, but I've heard that the contestants were treated pretty badly, which kind of hurts. I never even watched this show, but after I heard about that, I'm definitely not going to watch it. I mean, if you want to watch it, fine, but I think it's pretty bad. I get it. It's a Squid Game reality show, but you don't have to treat your contestants badly. You're Netflix, for God's sake. You can take care of these people just trying to be on this show, and I think it's just kind of disgusting, and I don't think season 2 should happen, but it is happening. The Spider-Man Noir series is officially moving forward at Netflix. I'm pretty sure this is happening. And I'm pretty sure that this movie has no connection to the Across the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Noir with Nicolas Cage. I think this is going to be its own thing, not connected to any of those. I find this, kind of exciting because we get a new character to talk about. But at the same time, I kind of just wanted another Spider-Man Noir series, like animated show, just focusing on Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir. I think that would have been pretty cool because I love Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir. I think he did a great job. We're going to see how this show kind of ends up. I'm not sure if it's even live action or animated. Hopefully it's animated, because live action Spider-Man Noir, I don't know how much that would work, but it is in the works. And the last story we're going to talk about today is that Pixar's Soul, Luca, and Turning Red are arriving to theaters in 2024. We do know that these movies came out during the COVID times, so they didn't really hit too many theaters or any theaters at all. So now you're going to be able to see Soul January 12th, Turning Red February 19th, and Luca March 22nd. I'm not sure how big of a release they're going to have, how many theaters or how many weeks they're going to be played, but I'm definitely going to go see Soul and Luca. I think those are great. Turning Red, I'm not really into that much. I wasn't a big fan of Turning Red, but I feel like this is exciting that Disney and Pixar are going to re-release these so people can actually go see them in theaters, because as we said, they didn't get a theater release. I really want to see Soul in theaters. Soul is just such a powerful film, very emotional film, and Luca is such a fun film. So I'm happy that they're finally going to release these in theaters. I'm very happy to see all these Pixar movies in theaters. That's all for the movie news and TV news for today. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you thought about the topics we talked about today. Make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.